joining.
Here we go. Do you see my screen? Okay, perfect. Um, as I said, like if you're joining right now, I'm Mehrnaz. I'm going to be presenting my project that I'm working on with industry partners called Shaping Autonomy. And what we are doing and trying to do with this project is to kind of advance the field through new ways of collaboration. And I'm going to talk a bit more into like what that means. A little bit into like the specific sections of my talk. I'm going to be introducing this Shaping Autonomy project. I'm going to be talking about benefits and outcomes that we are expecting and why you should consider participating and what you should be expecting out of this project. And then ways that you can get involved. And last, I'll open it to Q&A and we'll be happy to hear your thoughts and questions. So jumping into it, introduction, what is Shaping Autonomy? Before I talk about it, I just want to give an overview into where we are right now with the field of autonomous systems, which is kind of my area of expertise in my PhD. And kind of, I believe in years now, we've been anticipating that we are going to have self-driving cars, not just cars, but like flying, like air taxis everywhere, and robots kind of operating for us, doing all sorts of tasks. And I believe, and I know that you know it too, that this is far from reality that we are living right now. Although we are trying so hard, although the technology advancements are there, we're still, if I ask you, like not seeing our pizzas being delivered by a drone, or we are not still taking a self-driving car to work. And if VR is just an experimental kind of thing instead of that future that we all expected. So kind of when you look at the spectrum of this whole field and all these amazing systems and technology advancements, there are still a lot of problems. And those problems are actually the reason that we are not there yet. And so with that motivation, we started thinking about that. Well, what can we do in terms of like giving more clarity into these problems that exist across the field, and what can we do in terms of the solutions and understanding like how can we come together and why the collaborative kind of work so far hasn't worked. So in Shaping Autonomy, the mission is truly what I call accelerating that collective progress towards desired outcomes that I believe and we believe that would go beyond a single team. And kind of to talk a bit more about what that means, like what that progress towards the desired outcomes beyond a single team mean, I want to give more clarity into what kind of collaboration is needed for addressing those problems. So what are the problems specifically? Why do we need a new way of collaboration? So far, we've had a lot of committees, collaborative work. Why do we need a new way of coming together? So the way that we divide the problems that exist at the very top, we believe that there is a significant gap between the work of industry and academia in the field of autonomous systems. And I've talked with a lot of students, with a lot of professors in these amazing kind of universities and institutions. And the problem is that students, including myself, we work in a lab, and there is often no clarity of the applications of the industry, people who are executing like in the industry, what problems are they facing? And we usually have no visibility into that, and students are kind of left out of that space. And that is a huge problem, I believe, because in my project, I kind of reversed that. I went to industry, I understood the problems to bring it to my project, and I realized that it worked really well. And I understood that students want this to happen, and not just the students, but the industry needs that research and development work that these students can bring to the area, but the industry doesn't have access to it, and they want to understand how can they leverage that, and how can that translation between industry and academia happen in order to do meaningful work, honestly. So that gap is a huge part of this whole problem that kind of is informing these new kind of collaboration that we are hoping to have through shaping autonomy. Then on the other hand, kind of we realize that there is a lack of visibility into deeper challenges that exist in the field. And what do I mean by that? I've been through the past 1 year and a half or so. I've been specifically going to different industry events, participating in different working groups. I myself am part of a lot of industry working groups, going to different committees and everything, like all sorts of memberships. But something is missing there. And what is missing is that we need a deeper understanding into the challenges that exist. Usually there is like a specific kind of people from a specific part of the problem talking, and no one is getting clarity around that space. And then it's just specific to then, for example, for drones specifically, we are talking a lot about regulation problems, but then it's just the regulators most often attending those events, and they really need to translate the problems they are talking about to kind of people who might be able to propose solutions. And the problem is that usually when we gather in those spaces, there are a little number of people who can attend and like give perspective into other challenges that can inform, for example, regulation problems. So there is also another problem, which like institutions are kind of distributing these surveys. And surveys actually don't work. Like surveys get your input to some level, but then no one kind of follows up on translating those data and the data that is gathered and communicating it back to actionable insights that we can have. So that's one other problem that we've kind of noticed, and we are trying to addressing through shaping autonomy, and I will be talking about how. And the third problem, which I kind of now navigate to the left side of the screen, is that divided exclusive committees, which is kind of, again, about what I talked about, that we have these kind of committees where not many people across the fields and across the sectors can attend and give ideas, give perspective, and there are little to too few of these committee meetings happening. And it's usually in person, it's usually exclusive, and specifically students can't attend and researchers can't attend, or if they are happening, they're happening dividedly and not collaboratively. And the last but not least is that I believe we are focusing too much on the problems across the specific sectors. That is something that we need to do, and that is completely something that is needed. But then there is a lack of applied solutions and solution proposals that currently we have in the field to make those advancements. And we really need that right now, because we don't come up with solution proposals in a way that can be applied or kind of can be followed up on by people who can kind of build things and, like, again, iteratively come up with the ways that we are making progress for each of those challenges. So kind of these four gaps that we believe exist are kind of building blocks of why shaping autonomy has been initiated, and why we believe that this new way of collaboration is needed to address these gaps. But now, how are we addressing these gaps? So I'm going to talk about our approach in a very kind of summarized way. So first of all, what we are doing and what we've been doing during the past months is that we are gathering insights from industry experts and not through surveys. So we are actually going one-on-one, talking with people, either like most often face-to-face if we can, and if not, like through Zoom, talking with people and understanding their perspectives, and like actually dedicating a time to talk. And I believe that has been very, very important and informative. And so talking with industry experts from across the sector. So it's not just drones, it's all sorts of robotics companies and any company and organization that is kind of doing something in the field of robotics or autonomous systems. We are dedicating time to talk with them and getting their insights, because many of the problems that are happening, for example, in drone sector can be informative to the problems that exist, for example, for self-driving cars and vice versa. So we are gathering all these insights. What are the challenges in the perspective of people who are in the industry, who have the experience, and kind of also not just focusing on one group, and also talking with different groups. For example, we talk with engineers, we talk with managers, operation managers, like regulatory representatives. So different really people to gather all this data and perspectives and insight into what can be done, and what do they need, and what is their input on the challenges. And so we've been doing that, and we are currently towards the end of like gathering all those industry expert inputs, and we are going to do that by end of next month, continuing to gather these insights. And then what we are doing with that is that we want to enable these collaborative projects, and we want to enable industry as well as academia to kind of initiate these projects that can address those challenges that have been identified through the data collection that we've had with industry experts. So we want to identify those challenges. We want to open source it and create these taxonomy and share it with the community. And then using that, people from industry and also academia can initiate these challenging projects, or like collaborative projects cross-institutionally, in order to propose solutions or to even work on those solutions. And then from that, we kind of also want to open these working groups in panels that are informed by what we've learned and what those projects and how those projects are going, and to get more people and engagement from the community into those projects. And then going forward, we want to kind of iteratively evaluate the impact of the ongoing work and recognize where more resources are needed, where more input is needed, and how can they really scale those projects. And we've been hearing from both industry and academia that they are really willing to participate, and they are willing to, like especially from industry, to partner on those projects to really scale them into meaningful kind of results and solutions. So this is our approach. And yes, so talking about what are the benefits of participation. So we've kind of divided the benefits to divided the benefits for industry and academia. So for the industry, there are many benefits, but I believe the three most important things is that inspiring applied research and engineering projects seems to be really meaningful for the industry. Like we've talked with a lot of companies, with a lot of people from different sectors, that they really can't afford to have like these advanced research teams usually to work on the problems that they have, and they really can use that research and engineering like committee to work on the challenges that they have. And also to be able to kind of change the way that academic work has been done, and kind of change it into more applied and meaningful project. So one of the benefits is that inspiring those applied collaborative projects is really meaningful and impactful for the industry. The second thing is kind of accelerating exponential growth, because when you join forces with engineers and researchers across academia and industry, something really happens. Like it actually is different perspectives, different brains coming together into proposing solutions, and also to identifying those challenges for the future. And really meaningful things can happen, especially that we are intending to open source the learnings for the community instead of making it an exclusive one-time presentation that only a few can attend and learn from. And then third is kind of the leverage, like kind of, and there are many talented people doing all sorts of things, like even just doing a specific analysis that can really be transformative, but it's no one knows about it. So for the industry to be able to leverage that research and engineering and innovation work that many people can bring when they come together is really something that can change things. And for academia, on the other hand, the benefits are again a lot. First and foremost is that many people in academia right now are thinking about how can they do impactful work, and I've been hearing that from a lot of people, and like they really want to see like, what is this that I'm working on, what are the applications, like am I doing anything that has even a little bit of impact. And that can really even in my work I've seen that can really even be inspiring to new students, because at the end of the day we are going to need new talent, new engagement. This is a hard field, I'm not going to deny that, but we need inspiration, like going forward and saying that this is too hard and stuff, like it's not going to inspire new people to come to the field to engage. There are many different ways for people to be able to learn and participate in this field, and we need that. So kind of the change is a big thing. And also increasing the impact, as I said, for any work. And when you collaborate on these projects, the research projects or engineering projects, the impact of the work is kind of magnified. And then communication is also a key. I believe that going to all sorts of like talking with all sorts of people and going to all sorts of events, one of the problems that we have is the problem of communicating. Like usually when you talk with a technical person, if they're too technical, they can't communicate what they are doing, and then people don't understand it and just don't care about it. On the other hand, like I believe on the regulation, for example, side, operations side, there are many problems that we have. They shouldn't be ignored. But the problem is that no one is translating it back to the people who need to do something about it. So that translation and communication across is really important. And we are dedicating a team to kind of work on those, translating it into simple language, like across different people who are working together. And that's one of our goals as well. So these are the most important benefits. Of course, there are more, but like these are the most important ones. And with that, I want to talk a little bit into like how you can get involved. And for this part, first I want to say that the stage we are at, as I said, is that we are talking one-on-one with the different industry experts, and there is a way to get involved with that. So far, we've had more than 150 industry expert interviews, and that's counting. So we are doing it like every day, talking with people. And for this part, I'm going to quickly go to our website to talk about different ways that people can get involved. So I'm going to quickly stop sharing and reshare my screen.
I like how you mentioned that academia is waking up.
Yeah.
Needing to transition their processes and way of doing things, because yes, very true.
Exactly. So this is our website. This is the shapingautonomy.com. If you go to it, at the very top, there is a tab for getting involved. And the reason I'm showing the website is that because I want to talk about different ways that you can be part of this project. So if you come to get involved, there are 3 sections. So we have industry, academia, and internal team. So for the industry, as I said, right now we are talking with industry experts. So if you have experience, you are part of the industry, no matter which sector you're working on, no matter which like the division, like operationally, regulationally, consultancy, it really doesn't matter. If you have any experience, we want to hear from you. And in these talks, so here you can kind of click on schedule a talk. There will be sessions. Right now, the sessions are only by end of October, but we are adding a full month to that. So there will be opening sessions right after this talk by end of like November, and we will be adding more sessions and slots by end of December where you can schedule these talks with us, and we will be having a one-on-one talk with you. We really don't ask any kind of proprietary information from you. We are not getting any of that, so you don't have to worry. We just want to have a talk and like hear about your perspective on the challenges and also the projects and ways you think we need to think about this to make it more impactful. So really, we only ask about your experience, your perspective. It is not considered something as representative of your company. It's nothing. We don't gather any data. We just take notes. So that's also something else that you might want to know. And it's really an open, informal talk to hear your perspective on the challenges and the ways we can make these projects more impactful. So please schedule a talk. As we gather more data, we can create a better taxonomy for the community to learn from. So that's one way to get involved. Another way, so for if you're part of academia, the way that you can get involved is that you can kind of fill out this participation form. There are different ways you can get involved, and so far we've like had a lot of interest from different amazing institutions and academic institutions. So if you want to be part of it, you can complete the participation form, and we will be reaching out to you for the projects that we will be initiating. Those projects will be informed by the challenges that we are gathering from industry. So, and also many companies want to initiate some projects that is sponsored by them through our platform. So there are many ways you can get involved. If you are a professor or like you want to do some mentorship for these projects, there is a way for you to indicate that through these forms. And if you're a student, you can simply just say that you want to be part of research or you want to be part of engineering side of these projects, and we will be reaching out to you. And another one of the ways that you can get involved is that you can become part of the internal team. So the project is really large scale. Right now we have amazing partners, but we also need to expand our team because it's like we've been getting a lot of like kind of interest from different people for this project. So we really need to have a team behind it to move things faster. So if you want, you can be part of our advisory team. Right now, our advisory team is expanding. So we have some people from NASA, some many important companies in the autonomous systems sector, like MathWorks, Motional, and all sorts of companies who are really experienced in their work and want to be part of the advisory team. And what that means is that you can advise the direction of shaping autonomy. We will be having monthly meetings with you to hear what you think the direction should be and how impactful our work has been. You can kind of give us insight with your experience into how we should be shaping things and like increase the engagement of the whole work and initiative. And there is mentorship team. The mentorship team is a bit like higher workload kind of thing, because for mentorship team is mentoring the projects that we want to be initiating. So with that, you need to lead those teams who want to work on those projects. And that would mean like working with students or researchers from industry who want to be part of those projects and leading them. And that's a little bit more workload. And yeah, and if you are a researcher or an engineer and want to be part of the internal research and engineering team, you can also do that by filling out the form that is on this page. So you can be involved in any way that you want. And also something else that I should say is that all of us right now are kind of working on a voluntarily kind of basis. So all this work is that we really want this to happen. And later when the projects get started, as many companies want to do some sponsorships, if there isn't sponsorships, that goes directly into the people who are working on those specific projects. So anything that we are doing and the team and whoever is getting involved is the only reason is that we all volunteering to make a change. So that's something that you should also consider. And yeah, if you have questions and anything, I will be answering them in a little bit. And yeah, so that's all. And oh, and something else I wanted to mention is that we're creating a LinkedIn community page. So that will be coming out by next week. And if you want, you can sign up here. So we will notify you through your email or LinkedIn kind of handle to invite you to the community page. And kind of there we want to enable people to kind of join as a community and like make these collaborative posts or reports or like give us comments or feedbacks easier through the LinkedIn page. So you can sign up in advance and we will notify you if you want to be part of that. So with that, I'm gonna stop this sharing and reshare again quickly.
I'm glad you know how to work it. Goodness, I apologize greatly. So, and the funny thing is you show up under my name. So I was like, where is she? I can't
Yeah,
find.
exactly.
That would be why I wasn't looking for my name. But anyway, I
Um,
love the project because let me tell you, I see what you're saying with the gaps between the left hand and the right hand. They don't know what each other's doing, basically. I am with you completely. And it's very interesting that you bring up, academia versus the industry and how they have their own parallels. And then you add in Joe Schmo like me, who just shows up and says, I'm going to start a drone business, who hasn't done academia or industry training. So yeah, you've got the whole gamut and a lot of gaps. You're right, there's tons. And then filling those communication portals to the industry, and wow, yeah, you're right. This is a huge, there's a lot of gaps. I am with you, because where does the data go? After they create the model, it's just there and we've collected this great data. I'm with you. It's like it's just sitting in you know, a hard drive somewhere. So it's like it can be utilized.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Glad to hear that you agree. And yeah, exactly. Those gaps exist. And hopefully we can do something about it with the project. So yeah, with that, I'm gonna just wrap it up. First and foremost, I want to give a thanks to our partners. And it is expanding, but so far NSF has been funding this initiative, and like AUVSI, Women in Drones, and also P3 Tech Consulting are part of our partners. And also thank you for listening to me today. If you want to know more or have questions, please feel free to reach out to me directly through LinkedIn, through my email. And yeah, that I was happy to be a part of the session to be able to like let you know more about this project. And I'll be happy to take any questions or thoughts that you guys might have.
Well, I see a question that popped up, and Stephen also made a comment here. Very nice to see the focus to lessen the gaps between all partners. Absolutely. And then Audrey has a question, I believe. I'm curious how industry leaders would like to change regulations, if they think they should be less regulated, or maybe agree with regulations, but think they should happen faster, rules and enforcement. Yes.
Yeah, so that's an amazing question. So one thing that is happening is I think as part of the gaps, or like part of the benefits, I talked about communication. So one thing that is happening is that regulation, for example, if you are working in the drone sector, you can't just get away with it, like, or like there needs to, these drones need to be regulated, and you can't kind of work around the FAA in a way. So FAA is really pushing towards it. So what is happening is that we don't have there is a mismatch or a gap into translating what FAA is understanding from these systems and is wanting to happen, and then what the industry and technical people are working on. They don't understand each other, kind of, and that's what is the most of those problems are coming up. And that's why there are more and more problems into like like let's make this go faster, so we will give you something, for example, approval or certification for this operation specifically, but then if you change this and that, you need to come back to us. Or for example, when you talk with industry companies, there are like they're like saying a lot of stuff about how challenging it is to go through like certification, regulation, and like doing these field tests. So as part of the challenges that we are going to be opening up to the community is this part of certification and regulation. And we're going to open up all the lessons learned and also the challenges that exist and we've been hearing from different sides to bring them together. So what does the regulators think and want? How can that be translated into the technical work that has been that people in the companies are doing, and what is missing to kind of navigate that towards something that works? Like, how can we come up with or propose something that enable like kind of eases that way that we are thinking about regulating or certifying drones or any kind of system that has any level of autonomy or automation. So yeah, that will be definitely part of it, because everyone talks about regulation when you talk with the companies.
And regulations are a good thing to a point, they keep the guardrails out there for, Joe Schmo who just picks it up and goes with it. But yes, I did finally see my drone on remote ID the other day. I tested all my drones. I was like, ooh, let's see. But regulations are going to change, ebb and flow, do their thing. So we'll have to go with it. But I do see where the FAA folks have no earthly idea what I'm doing out in the field collecting solar survey data. They don't understand, or they're not standing next to me trying to collect. Exactly. It's to the technical point, and
Sure.
that's across everywhere though. The left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. It's so common. But the communication is key. Absolutely. There is another question. Stephen had a comment, never more regulations, just faster and better defined, at least from the retail industry. Yeah, that's true. And it would be more helpful to have better definitions across the board with regulations. And then Raheel asks, are you focusing worldwide or only in the American market on your study?
Yeah, so right now it's worldwide. In fact, we've been hearing a lot from companies from Switzerland and like Australia. So like definitely if you are part of a company or like an academic institution that wants to be part of this, you can. And especially because we want to open source the learnings to the community, and that community, I believe, is right now at least worldwide.
Perfect. Absolutely. That's great. So have you picked up on any, foresights with the communication and being able to open up any flows
Um,
between?
Yeah, we were kind of enforced to do at least 200 interviews, which I know is a lot. So far we are above 150, but we that number is coming kind of is being enforced from NSF. And yeah, so we are looking to hit that number, but even with 150, we've gathered a lot of data, especially because we do one-on-one talks. There are a lot of notes and stuff. So we've from last week, we've started kind of clearing up that data because we want to make it a toolkit where you can access it and navigate this challenges, what we've heard, in a very easy way. It's not going to be a 100 pages PDF document. It's going to be something that is actionable and people can use easily to navigate it and to kind of propose projects and work on it. So yeah, so we've started that from last week. We are hoping to be able to roll out the toolkit and the taxonomy of challenges by end of next month. And yeah, hopefully we're gonna hit that 200 number very soon, that the 150 of it at least is done.
It's daunting, definitely. All the notes.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Sure. Oh, goodness. Well, also to follow up on that, Raheel says that he's not an expert, but he would love to learn from your platform it's a
Oh
good,
yeah, absolutely.
yes, definitely. So
Yeah, absolutely. You can get involved, and either through the website you can fill out the form, or just directly reach out to me, and yeah, I'll add you to the internal team, and we'll be happy to have you.
definitely. And I'll pop the link back in here again to the project. And it should be directly to the get involved link, I believe, that I grabbed. So that should be there. And no, this is amazing because I see I see what you're trying to fill in, and it's very important. And getting all the information to start that process is, I don't envy
Yeah,
what you're
that's the
doing.
hardest part. Yeah.
Yes, it's a lot. So they're not open-ended questions, are they? Do you have them down to where they're like yes, no answers, basically, or?
So because we really want to do these talks in an informal way, it's very open-ended. So we really ask for your perspective of where the challenges are. And the challenging thing for us is that because we from the beginning we wanted to talk with different people. Like we sometimes we are talking with the lead engineer, the next day we are talking with an operation manager. So we are hearing different perspective on the challenges based on who you are, your experience, and where you are at the industry. The hard thing for us is that then connecting all those together and clearing the data becomes even harder. But the other hand is that these talks are easier for people to participate, and that's why we've got a lot of interest in participation, because it's really an informal chat, and it's nothing about like, are you using this specific thing? No, it's not that. It's really understanding what's happening, what do you think the gaps are, and how can we make a progress. So that's what we've been focusing on in these talks. Yeah.
Nice. And about how long do the interviews take?
Only 20 minutes
Oh,
maximum. Yeah.
that's okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's doable. That's great. I was anticipating an hour, but 20 minutes. Wow. In and out.
Yeah, no, sometimes folks want to talk more with us because they want to add stuff, like they want to add ideas into the projects they want to be seeing. A lot of people we talk to from different companies, big companies, want to talk more into how they want to initiate the projects that they want to like have and use our platforms. So if they want to add something, it usually goes into like 45, 1 hour. But our side of things and questions is just 20 minutes because we wanted to make it as easy as possible for people to participate.
That's great. No, that makes sense. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because like you said, you're dealing with everything from
exactly.
CEOs to, the person
Yeah.
in the field, engineers in between. Yeah. They're their own unique animal, engineers. Yes.
Yes.
But they're very smart. I love engineers. Yes, definitely. Um, so this is amazing. Any other questions, anybody? Feel free to unmute and ask, and ask away while we have her, because this is a lot. Oh my goodness, I cannot imagine this project. This is
Yeah.
wow. This is big. This is going to be a big study. Wow. How did you come up with this? I mean, you just saw the gaps and said this needs to be studied, or what?
Yeah, so it's coming out of my own passion. So I in my own project and PhD, I work on drones and aerial autonomy, and I did a very small version of this for my own project. I realized that sitting in a lab is not satisfying. I really want to go out there and see what I can do to make a change with my platform and my project and the drone system that I was building. So what I did is that I stopped being in the lab. I went out, I talked with a lot of industry people, attended industry events, which students almost never do. And then when I did that, I brought back those learnings to my own projects and made it a very huge kind of success in terms of defining the problem I was looking at. Then I realized that, oh my God, all these other students were like, how did you do this? How can we do that? And we don't see the impact. And then on the other side of things, from industry, I saw that people were like, why don't more people do this? And I started talking with a lot of industry people. They were like, yeah, we are waiting for someone to take the initiative and no one does it. And then I was like, okay, then I guess I'll do it anyways. And then I was really passionate about making a change into the field, in advancing it. And then NSF got really interested. So they funded me to talk with more people. Kind of, I had to travel a lot. And then after that, we started partnering with like more industry institutions and like really like initiating things to gather engagement. Yeah, so that's how it started.
Wow. That's, yeah, we need that study. Go ahead, do it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Wow, good for you. That's, you just, did you realize what you were biting off? Because wow, it's a lot, but
it
that's
is.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's good for you. How big is your team? Two people. How
Um,
big is your team?
Yeah, so we started expanding. So because we are getting a lot of interest into the project. Actually, even last week I was at an event and three other people joined me from they're amazing people working at MapWorks and NASA, JPL, and like they're joining. So right now we're expanding, but we're at 10 people right now, which is good. And we are kind of dividing up the team into being able to have some mentorship and advisory, and as I said, some help for the doing the stuff and also leading some of the analysis in projects. So hopefully we're gonna expand. Yeah.
10 sounds great. 10, yeah, I was gonna say, if you were gonna say two, I wouldn't be shocked, but that 10's
Oh
doable with all that
yeah.
data. Wow.
Three
Yeah.
months ago it was just me. Yeah.
Well, in academia, yeah, that's what you got. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
yeah, there's
exactly.
no money, so go ahead, figure it
Yeah.
out. Okay. Yeah, I know. Been there. So, that's fantastic. I am glad that you picked up this gauntlet and are going with it. And I'm also glad to say that you're in New York. This is,
Yeah.
I can't remember another speaker that was in New York. So I'm quite thrilled that you are
Okay, perfect.
not
Yeah.
too far away either. So it's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Um,
awesome.
yes. Well, everybody, it's coming up on the top of the hour, and I want everyone to be able to get to their next meetings. And I so greatly appreciate everything that you shared. This was fantastic. I'm, I'm gonna go sign up and get involved. So, um, I can't wait for our one-on-one. I don't know if I'll get you, but we'll see. Yeah. Yay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I appreciate it. And I appreciate your data, and I cannot wait to when do you think you'll finish up?
It should be coming out like our LinkedIn page is gonna come out from next week, and then we're gonna communicate the updates. But like from next month, we are gonna roll out the toolkit and challenges and lessons learned and start the projects.
Nice. And when do you think your entire project will be completed? How long do you
Um,
have?
I'm not sure if the projects are a success. They are gonna go on and I'm not gonna stop it. And for me, this part of rolling out the toolkit into challenges is an important first step. But if things are going well and the projects are really helping people, we're gonna continue the project and I'm happy to do the work to advance the field. So hopefully we'll see.
That's great. And the piece that you mentioned about going to industry events, I think
Yeah,
is key.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
when
Yeah.
we were at UAV Expo, there were a group of us that mentioned, why aren't there kids here? Why aren't there college age students or high school kids that are
Yeah.
coming in and being able to see all these amazing drones and other things, but get inspired? I mean, why aren't the companies paying for these kids to go to these events and get sparked and come back to their college campuses and make a difference? Anyway, there's that gap we're talking about, right? So yeah,
Sure.
um, it's all we can do this, absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. Thank you. Thank you
Stop.
for doing the project, and thank you for collecting all the data and capturing all the information. And I can't thank you enough. This is awesome.
Well,
So
thank you so much.
definitely. And there's a bunch of other thank yous in here as well. And everyone, please save your chat. There's some good links in there, and I hope everyone has a great day.
Have a great day, everyone.
That kind of wraps it up